Summers can be filled with a lot of fun. But for families, they can also come with their very special form of chaos. As a work from home mom with 3 kids who are also home for the summer, I thought I would take you through a day in our life so I can share with you some of the strategies and tips that we are using to avoid the summer chaos and still have fun. Good morning. You are in the cabinet over the coffee maker because I'm waiting on my coffee to finish brewing. My family got me this really snazzy pour over coffee setup for Mother's Day. There's a grinder that will grind the beans really quickly and a kettle that will heat the water up super fast. In fact, I've been using that for other things like making broth for cooking or making like hot water for oatmeal. And then this really nifty contraption for the pour over that has a spring-loaded release. So when it's standing on its own, it's holding all the liquid, but when you set it on top of a cup, it will release all of the coffee after it's brewed. I just thought that that was really, really cool. I never thought I would be a fancy coffee setup girl, but here I am. Actually, I never thought I would be a coffee drinker at all. I didn't even start drinking coffee until I was about 30, when we had our second and third children, coincidentally. Speaking of the children, it is the beginning of June and the first full week of summer. Last week, my son was done with school, but my daughters had one more day. So for the rest of the week, I kind of gave them a pass and let them just relax, sleep in, watch movies. You know, like I didn't have a lot on the agenda for them to do. But this week we are starting to implement just a little bit of a relaxed routine. Nothing like the school year, but just something to kind of help us add a teeny bit of structure to our days and battle the chaos that sometimes comes with summertime. We don't have a set wake up time for the kids, but one of the things that we are implementing is no TV or devices before 2 p.m. The mornings are the best time to be outside. It's the best time to get any chores done that we have to do or errands run. So there's no need to really turn on devices, with the exception occasionally of, you know, some music if we want to have some music on in the house, or my oldest daughter who is taking some summer courses. I am actually normally not a fan of summer courses for high school kids unless it's for remediation or graduation requirements, but Ruthie really wanted to take a couple of things this summer so that she could make room for an extra elective so she could take a second year of Latin. And we also are having our younger kids work in a summer bridge activity book. They are at a pretty rigorous classical school and we need to keep up with just a few activities. They do a couple pages in that a day. Doesn't take them usually longer than 30 minutes, maybe an hour if it's something that we're having to kind of stop and explain. But it just kind of prevents that summer slide from happening, which is really important for us. McKenna also has to learn cursive this summer, so there's that. We also have about 20 minutes of household chores each day that we are asking the kids to do, and we're having them read for a cumulative 60 minutes each day. And that can be 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the evening, it can be 20 minutes at a time. 60 minutes is their regular school year requirement. I'm sure all the teachers will echo me when I say that if you do nothing else with your kids in the summer, reading is one of the best things that you can do to prevent that summer slide. So that's our plan for now. So we still have the skeleton of a routine. It's just much more relaxed than the school year. It doesn't need to be as productive. And it still leaves room for some spontaneity if an opportunity comes up to do something fun, and it leaves lots of space for rest and delight here in the summertime. And lest you think 2 p.m. rolls around and then it's just a free-for-all with devices, we actually don't have a lot of devices to begin with. My kids don't have cell phones. We have a couple of very old iPads that are super limited with what they can do. And a lot of times we'll just put on a movie in the afternoon that we can all watch together. And sometimes 2 p.m. rolls around and they've already forgotten about it because we've set that restriction. They're busy doing something else and they've, forgotten about the devices altogether. And there have been some surprising effects of the no devices until 2 p.m. I mean, we did think this would encourage them to read and to spend time playing outside, to take care of their chores, keeping their rooms tidy and things, but it also has encouraged them to sleep a little bit more. They're not like up at the crack of dawn so that they can have control of the remote and what is on TV in the morning. I didn't even think that would be a side effect of it. And my kids are active and growing and they need their sleep. As a work from home mom, somebody running a business out of my home, basically, it can be frustrating in the summer because I'm trying to balance being a mom and the kids being home for the summer and not wanting to be, you know, a complete ogre about them enjoying their summer and being in the house, but also knowing that I have deadlines. I have projects that need to get finished. Even if I'm filming less in the summertime, even if I'm putting out fewer videos, I still have some projects that need to get done. So having some of this routine, giving kids a little bit of structure, it also gives me a little pocket of productivity time, like a little small window when I can get done the things that have to get done so that I can keep the wheels turning with my job. So if you are also a work from home parent or someone running a business when you've got kids at home for the summertime, I totally get the very delicate balancing act that you are trying to traverse. Future Mindy popping in here real quick to say that my kids also have plenty of fun in the summer. It's interesting, I've been on YouTube long enough, 6 years actually, that I can almost predict some of the just snarky or condescending or judgmental comments that I might receive on a video, and it might look like we are not letting our kids have any fun, but they are going to lots of camps, they are playing sports, they are seeing friends, they're visiting grandparents, we have trips planned, we have fun daytime activities planned for the summer as well. I'm just kind of sharing with you some of the more like productive things that we're doing in the summertime. I'm also adjusting our summer meal plan to be a little bit more relaxed. I mean, when it comes to breakfasts and lunches, the kids already prepare their own for the most part during the school year, so there's no reason why that can't continue. They just have, you know, different options because they're going to be at home for breakfast and lunch instead of eating it on the go or packing it to eat later. In fact, I took them to Sam's the other day and I let them pick out a few things to help with that endeavor, and Kenna really wanted to show you our Sam's Club haul, so let me rewind and I'll show you what we got there.
Hi. So, today on See Mindy Mom, we had a haul at Sam's Club. And first we have our normal things, right? Like for the dishwasher, some whatever it's called, I don't know. We got some good trash bags. We got toilet paper for bathrooms. Then Rick chose pistachios, right? Yummy. Just for the summer, we got chicken bites. So good. Good for the air fryer and stuff. We always love our yogurts here, so we got those. Ruthie chose apple chips. Yum. Then, since we got the Ninja Creamy Deluxe, we had to get some protein shakes, and our mom loves them. They're really good. And just for fun, we got some Oreos and cookies and stuff like that. So good. And I chose waffles. Yay! Another good thing that we like to eat in the summer is these little air fryer pizzas. They're super good to just eat right there.
I'm probably going to be doing less cooking overall in the summer. I think when the thing you enjoy or your hobby becomes your job, it's much easier to burn out on it. If I'm being honest, I'm just a little bit burned out on cooking. So I think overall, I'm gonna be doing less of that in the summer altogether. I committed the ultimate Aldi faux pas. I didn't have any quarters on me. I can't believe I made it to Aldi without a quarter, so I actually had to go buy this Coke Zero so that I could have some change to get a card. Don't be like me. Remember your quarter. Bring your Aldi quarter. Don't forget it. I almost made it through the aisle of shame without picking anything up, but my kids have been playing backyard baseball with wiffle balls, and they've just been using like sticks. So I think I'm gonna pick one of these up for the kids. Ruthie actually really likes to make pasta salads in the summer, and she really liked this pasta salad mix, and she put a bunch of extra stuff into it, you know, produce and proteins and cheese and stuff, so I'm gonna pick up a few more boxes of that for her to make. We'll probably fire up the Solo stove and do some s'mores this weekend, so of course I gotta pick up my favorite s'mores shortcut, the fudge stripes here. Summertime seems like a great time to take a break from cooking in general anyway, because we're typically eating much simpler as it is. We're eating lots of fresh fruits and vegetables, making salads and sandwiches, things that can be eaten cold. So I'm just gonna be picking up more items that will allow people to kind of create their own meals. Maybe some things for the air fryer, which the kids have gotten pretty good at using on their own as well. I am actually not a huge fan of the Aldi brand tortilla chips. I've mentioned that a few times. There's very few Aldi brand things I'm not a big fan of, but the tortilla chips are one of them. I usually will wait and purchase those at Walmart. But has anybody tried these Hint of Lime chips? I really like the name brand. I think Tostitos makes a hint of lime, so I think I'm gonna pick one of these up to try out. Oh man, I'm so glad they brought these back. This one right here is pretty good, but this one, the white meat chicken and Mexican style street corn, I remember having these last year and I was so sad when they went away. So I'm gonna pick up a couple of these today to toss in the freezer for really easy heat meat meals, probably for me and my husband. Today's video was sponsored by BetterHelp. I've been talking a lot in my recent videos about summer, and if I'm being honest, summer, at least the last several years, has been kind of a difficult season for me. I am usually trying to meet work deadlines and run my business from home while also simultaneously entertain and enjoy summer vacation with my kids. But the stress of balancing everything while we're kind of out of our routine usually leaves me exhausted, stressed out, and short-tempered by the end of it all. For anybody else who finds themselves in a similar season of anxiety or stress, no matter what time of year it is, BetterHelp can be a great resource because it is an online platform. So it makes getting access to therapy easier, and it makes scheduling these sessions much more flexible. BetterHelp can connect you with a licensed therapist who is trained to listen and offer helpful, unbiased advice. It all starts by visiting their website and taking a short quiz. You can use my link in the description box below, and this helps BetterHelp match you with a therapist, usually within 48 hours, who might have the expertise and the experience that is specific to your struggles and your desires where therapy are concerned. Not only can you sign up using a phone or a computer, but you can actually schedule your sessions that way as well, via phone call, video chat, or even messaging, whatever is most comfortable for you. It is a very easy way to get started with a licensed therapist. Let BetterHelp connect you to a therapist who can support you all from the comfort of your own home. Visit betterhelp.com/cmindymom or follow the link in the description box below to get started today and enjoy a special discount on your first month with BetterHelp. And thank you again to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. I spent about $150 at Aldi today, and I showed you several things as I was picking them up. We've got lots of produce here, lots of great deals on fresh fruits and vegetables. The blackberries were on sale, the grapes were on sale. My son will be delighted to see the cherries. The kids all like the cucumbers and the bell peppers and the carrots for fresh vegetables. We've got lettuce for salads. Ruthie has been asking me to pick up mushrooms. I do not like mushrooms, but she wants to experiment with these, you know, in cooking, like maybe sauteing them or something, so I picked some of those up for her. We have some sandwich bread in the back, and along with those items and some of the things you see here, the ramen noodles, the pasta salad mixes, the little frozen raviolis that can be boiled on the stove really quickly. We have some rotisserie pulled chicken here, some different cheeses and dips. All of that will help to make really, you know, quick meals according to everybody's tastes. I also picked up several packages of this steam in the bag riced cauliflower. I like adding this to my meals. It just helps kind of stretch a meal, add another vegetable to my meal. We have some basic pantry staples that I was running low on. I've got some green beans and some olive oil and some baking supplies. Even though we aren't turning on the oven very much, I don't like to go to my pantry and see that I'm out of flour or sugar. So there's my little Aldi haul. Plus, of course, possibly the most important things, the wiffle bats, right? Okay, the hint of lime chips definitely hit. Or slap. Or whatever it is that the young folks are saying this day. I really debated whether or not to share this thing behind me with you guys because it's kind of pricey, but I kept seeing them all over the food vlogger space and I was really curious to try it. This is a Ninja Creami, and supposedly it allows you to take just about any concoction that you can whip up, freeze it, and then creamify it, turn it into like ice cream or sorbet. So we have had a lot of fun experimenting with this, and I have something in the freezer right now. It is a can of cherry pie filling, and that's actually a 1-ingredient shortcut straight from the manufacturer for making sorbet. But I went ahead and added a little bit of lime juice and the zest from the lime, and then just a splash of cream. And so that is freezing, and we will process that later. I made a peaches and cream version earlier this week, and it's been one of my favorite things. So if you've been wondering if this thing really works, I'll show it to you later on. In addition to encouraging the kids to read this summer, I am also trying to get back into reading. On my Kindle right now, I have A Voice in the Wind, the first in the Mark of the Lion series by Francine Rivers. I started this several months back. I just didn't get, like, it was interesting. I just ran out of time before I had to return it to Libby, so I checked it back out again so I could try to pick it up again. And my 2 younger kids have to read a certain number of books from the reading list over the summer, but they also each have one specific book that they need to read, a specific title, before school starts, because they're gonna be talking about that immediately when they come back to school. And for my son, it's Summer of the Monkeys, and I read that when I was a kid, but it's been a long time, so I'm gonna read that as soon as I'm done with this one, Banner in the Sky, which is my 6th grader's required summer read, like the one specific title she has to read. And I read a lot as a kid, and I hadn't heard of this. It's okay, it's very descriptive. I can see why it's a Newbery Honor book. It's probably not my jam, but I'm just reading it a few chapters at a time. So if you've read that one, leave me a comment and let me know. I know I'm a few years late to the Dirty Diet Coke phenomenon, but I've been trying it lately and I gotta say, I really like it. I squeeze a little bit of lime into my cup, which I fill to the brim with ice, like as high as I can get it. And then pour my soda in and then do just a splash of the coconut creamer. Like I think some people are too heavy-handed with it. Like just a tablespoon is enough and really hits the spot in the summertime for me. We just walked in the door from baseball practice. It's actually been a few years since Brick played baseball, but we had an opportunity to play with his school team this summer, just rec league summer ball. It's really laid back, so it's a great time to jump back in. But I wanted to make sure that we got this cherry limeade sorbet into the Ninja Creami for a spin so we can see how it turns out. So I have my cherry limeade concoction right here. It goes into this big cup and then the lid snaps on the top just like this. It's a little harder to do with one hand, but I can still do it with one hand, so pretty easy. In the Ninja Creami Deluxe, which is what I have, it's a 24-ounce container, so it's actually a pint and a half. In the basic Ninja Creami, it's a pint, it's 16 ounces. Then you just pop it into the machine like this. I did turn the machine on, and it just pops in like that. And I'm gonna press full and I'm gonna put it on the sorbet setting. And the only thing about this is that it is very, very loud. All right, let's see how it looks. It's kind of hard to do with one hand. Actually, it's impossible to do with one hand. Hold on. You have to release it with this button and then turn it at the same time so that you can pull out the little container, and then press that button to release the lid. And sometimes when it looks like this, about half the time it looks like this, kind of slushy, it means that I need to put it in for a respin. Sometimes I just respin it as is, but a lot of times I'll put just a smidge of liquid in there. I'll probably put just a couple teaspoons of half and half in there, and I'm gonna put it on the respin. One more out. One more out. There it is. Ah! They did it. For Pete. Okay, full disclosure, I actually did one more respin. Ah, that is what I'm looking for right there. Look at how creamy that is. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait to try that. Look at that. From a can of cherry pie filling and a little bit of cream. Okay, so I was going for something kind of tart, you know, something just with just a little bit of sour to it, kind of like a sour candy, like a sweet tart or something like that, because I find that to be really refreshing in the summertime. So that's why I added the lime juice to this. Okay, that tastes amazing. To me, that's exactly what I was going for. Kind of like a tart cherry limeade flavored sherbet that definitely hit the mark. Does the overall vibe or routine change in your household over the summer? Leave me a comment and let me know. And if you have any tips for managing that, feel free to leave a comment as well. I thought I would share with you my little Ninja Creami experiment for the day. I have in these containers the same add-ins for just a basic vanilla white ice cream. I added some sugar-free pudding mix, some vanilla, and some sweetener, the same amounts. The only difference in these containers is the type of milk that I used. This one is all almond milk. This one is all dairy milk, and then I have one that is half and half. And we're gonna put all of these into the Ninja Creami to see which one we like the best. I wanted to do this little experiment so I could see how the different milks affect the taste and the texture. And obviously there's gonna be a caloric difference there. The almond milk one is going to be the lowest in calories, and the all regular dairy milk is going to be the highest in calories, and then we've got something in the middle. So I wanted to see where the sweet spot was for me. McKenna really wants me to hurry up and film this segment because she's got her bowl ready with her crushed up cookies for her vanilla ice cream. This one is made with 2 cups of 2% milk. This one is made with 1 cup of 2% milk and 1 cup of almond milk. And this one is made with 2 cups of almond milk. And it should be noted that I use the Califia Farms extra creamy almond milk because when I tried it with this one, it was terrible. And here is the almond milk one. It was the most difficult for me to get to like a creamy consistency. I had to add just a little bit more liquid and spin it a couple more times. And then this is the half and half. and actually it is looking a lot more like regular ice cream consistency. But this one right here, definitely when it came out of the mixer, even with 2% milk, so no half and half, no cream, I mean, it looks like ice cream, but you know, the proof is in the taste, right? I can definitely taste a difference among them all. And actually the one made from almond milk tastes a little bit sweeter to me. And texture wise, it also feels a little bit more like a sorbet than like a really creamy, rich ice cream, which of course would make sense. I will say though that I was pretty impressed with the half and half concoction. I didn't notice as much of a difference between it and the full, you know, 100% dairy milk as I thought I would. Calorie wise, because I know a lot of people are buying these machines to make like lower calorie or lower carb or keto friendly versions. The almond milk concoction has 160 calories, thereabouts for my calculations. The dairy milk concoction has 280 calories. And then the one that's half and half has 220. So because my family eats dairy, I'm not doing this because we have a dairy allergy. It's probably worth it to me to use the regular dairy milk because the difference in the calories just really isn't enough to make it worth the swap for me. But let's be honest, they're probably all gonna taste pretty good when I crush up some Oreos on top, am I right? YouTube thinks you might wanna watch one of these videos next, or else make sure that you are subscribed so you don't miss the next one.